मोहनलाल को जो डायरेक्ट करने का मौका मिला पहली बार,
had a scene between Mohanlal sir and Fazil sir. I have actually gotten multiple chances, but I have not been able to. I think Rajni sir is a fantastic comic actor.
अरे
बहुत अजीब लगेगा अगर
हिंदी में बोले
you MI6 के अंदर people are talking in Malayalam and all that.
नमस्कार, मैं हूं पंकज शुक्ल और आज मैं हूं इसमें कोची में और एक फिल्म आ रही है L2 एम्पुरान। L2 मीन्स लूसीफर 2। लूसीफर आपने देखी होगी 2019 में। उसके निर्देशक पृथ्वीराज सुकुमारन, उससे डेब्यू किया था एज ए डायरेक्टर। ये इनकी तीसरी फिल्म है। दूसरी फिल्म कौन सी है उसके बीच में हम बात करेंगे। बहुत बहुत स्वागत है पृथ्वीराज हमारे इस कार्यक्रम में।
बहुत शुक्रिया, थैंक यू सो मच।
तो हम शुरुआत L2 एम्पुरान से करते हैं
जी।
एम्पुरान का जो अर्थ मैंने पूछा यहाँ लोगों से वो है आई थिंक लॉर्ड ऑफ द लॉर्ड्स।
Well,
या बेटर देन, मोर देन ए किंग, लेसर देन ए गॉड।
yeah, I mean literally if you have to translate it, उसका मतलब यही होगा कि more than a king, less than a god. But it's kind of tough to sort of exactly place it. It's overlord. Yeah.
तो मोहनलाल को मलयालम सिनेमा का एक फेस माना जाता है। उनको एक
I mean, we have many legends in Malayalam cinema, but he is yes one of the pillars of the industry. Yeah.
उनको एम्पुरान के कैरेक्टर में, या जो कि आपने पहले लूसीफर बनाया, उनको उसका पूरा डिफिनीशन आता है। आपका जो टीजर हमने देखा कि लूसीफर कौन है और क्यों उनको लूसीफर कहते हैं, तो उनको एक कैरेक्टर में सोचना इस तरह की लार्जर देन लाइफ में पहले भी फिल्में बनी होंगी, क्योंकि आशीर्वाद सिनेमा का 25वां साल का ये भी था, फंक्शन भी था, उन्होंने बनाई बहुत सारी फिल्में हैं। आपको मोहनलाल को जो डायरेक्ट करने का मौका मिला पहली बार, तो पहला सीन क्या सोचा आपने, क्या डायरेक्ट किया?
तो बात यह है कि स्टोरी मेरा नहीं है। आई मीन इट्स रिटन बाय मुरली गोपी, अ फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन हु इज आल्सो एक्चुअली वेरी पॉपुलर एक्टर। अगर आपने दृश्यम 2 का जो मलयालम वर्जन देखा हुआ है, उसमें जो पुलिस ऑफिसर का किरदार है वो उन्होंने निभाया है। या सो मुरली गोपी इज द राइटर ऑफ दिस फिल्म। द स्टोरी बिलोंग्स टू हिम, सो द आइडिएशन ऑफ द कैरेक्टर इन द स्टोरी इज मुरली गोपी's. But of course, when Murli pitched it to me and I decided that I'm going to direct it, and Mohanlal sir was excited about the idea, then there's a lot of director-writer synergy that happens, and उनका जो thought है वो जो मेरा how I want to conceive it, and we sort of argue and fight and write, and that process happens.
Yes.
But yes, when I finally sort of landed on my vision for the film, we knew we had an entire arc. वो 2016-17 में जब हमने ये जो फ्रेंचाइज का जो कहानी सोचा था, उसी टाइम में वी न्यू दैट इट विल बी अ 3 फिल्म सीरीज। बट क्या है, उस टाइम में ये जो पार्ट 1, पार्ट 2, पार्ट 3 का चक्कर है वो इतना पॉपुलर नहीं था। Yeah, so it would have been we thought it was a little weird to if we went out and say, yeah, I'm debuting as a director, it will be a 3-part film. People will go, what? So we thought, okay, we'll do part 1 now, and then we'll see what happens with part 1. But then part 1 became what it became. I mean, thanks to the love that people gave the film, that it became such an iconic film that then on the 50th day celebration of part 1, हमने अनाउंस किया था कि part 2 भी होगा और part 3 भी होगा।
2019 में मैं आया था कोच्चि, उस समय आई थिंक ममूटी सर की कोई फिल्म थी, मामगम आई गेस, इंटरव्यू करने के लिए। तो मैंने होर्डिंग्स देखे लूसीफर के लगे हुए, तो हमने कहा ये फिल्म तो अजीब अलग लग रही है, नॉट टिपिकल मलयालम फिल्म। फिर मैंने जाके देखी इसको वहाँ पे जाके।
थैंक यू।
तो सवाल मेरा ये था कि जब आप डायरेक्टर, चूँकि पहली फिल्म थी आपकी एज ए डायरेक्टर, योर डेब्यूइंग, मोहनलाल का जो पहला सीन आपने सोचा होगा कि आज मैं जाऊंगा ये डायरेक्ट करूंगा, तो उस दिन की फीलिंग्स बताइए मुझे, क्या फीलिंग्स थी, कौन सा सीन था?
तो क्या है, इट इज एक्चुअली गुड क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज द फर्स्ट डे आई शॉट फॉर द फिल्म had a scene between Mohanlal sir and Fazil sir. So Fazil sir वो एक्टर है जो उसका वो फादर का कैरेक्टर किया हुआ है उसमें, नेडुम्बल्ली अच्छन, द फादर का कैरेक्टर. Fazil sir is a director who introduced Mohanlal sir. And
also, I think
I mean, introduced me in the sense that Fazil sir is the one who long back when he met me accidentally, I was in my 12th standard or something, happened to meet me one day, and he called my mom and said, I want to shoot a screen test with him. So my mom said, yeah, okay. So we knew each other. So I went to his house in Alleppey, and he with a video camera he shot a screen test. It was actually that screen test that later on director Ranjit saw and cast me in Nandanam, which became my first film. So in a way, Fazil sir was responsible for introducing Mohanlal sir, and in a way introducing me too. But for me, it was like 2 huge legends of Malayalam cinema, and it was like an intense scene between the two of them. And it was my day 1 of directing my film. And I was there, and these two big pillars of the industry are there, and they're like, yes sir, what should we do? And I'm sitting there and I'm briefing, मैं brief कर रहा हूँ मोहनलाल sir को और फाजिल sir को, and while I'm briefing I'm thinking, wow, you know,
Is this happening in real?
yeah, I mean, it was, I'll never forget that day. It was inside a church, and you know, I was sitting on one of those church benches, and Mohanlal sir was sitting, and Fazil sir was sitting, and I'm explaining to them the scene, and I'm telling them this I want to shoot, and then Fazil sir and Mohanlal sir are asking me, so what do you want us to do in this shot? So it was really a surreal moment for me. From there, of course, I directed a second film, and now in this third film, there's again Fazil sir is there. So it's been a journey, and I think I'm very blessed as a filmmaker. I think you know, I'm being taken care of by some powers to make sure that you know I have these opportunities to do these wonderful films with this wonderful cast. और आज जो हम बात कर रहे हैं, I mean, we are here. We are talking about a really ambitious film which the whole industry, at least in Malayalam, is looking forward to. And I'm really privileged to be the one directing it. लेकिन एक बात जो है, when part 1 released, we knew that it was a very story deeply rooted in Kerala politics and all that. Part 2 जो है, it is still, there is Kerala politics, but story का जो scope and the scape of the premise is quite national, and a lot of it is also national, and also international. आपको, I'll have to tell you this, that about 20 to 30% of this film is in Hindi.
अरे वाह.
So
टीजर में भी आपका डायलॉग जो है वो हिंदी में.
Not just me, there are other characters. So even the Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu and Kannada versions, I'm very particular. वो जो हिंदी का जो portion है, वो हिंदी में ही रहेगा. I will not dub that into another language because it is important for the flavor of the film.
ये सिनेमा के लिए बहुत अच्छा है कि जो किरदार जिस पृष्ठभूमि का है, जो भी उसका बैकग्राउंड है,
yes,
वो वही लैंग्वेज बोल रहा है, तो
exactly,
मेक आउट करके नहीं लगता कि यार ये कुछ फेक लग रहा है.
Exactly. और जो कैरेक्टर्स जो UK and US में जो हमने scenes shoot किया और जो characters उधर से है, they'll only speak in English. I think the audience is evolved enough to understand all that thing. बहुत अजीब लगेगा अगर you know
हिंदी में बोले.
MI6 के अंदर you know people are talking in Malayalam and all that. No, so that I'm going to keep like that. But because of this substantially big Hindi portion in the film, जब हमने ये film बना रहे थे, we were very keen on having a proper Hindi release for this film. And what is really working for the film is also the fact that I believe that जो लोगों ने, अगर you have not seen part 1, this film will still be a good standalone film. But हाँ, अगर आपने part 1 देखा हुआ है, तो some throwbacks, some dialogues that are being spoken will have better recall value. But other than that, even for people who have not seen part 1, I think Empuraan part 2 of the franchise.
तो मलयालम में आपसे शुरू हो रहा है ये पैन इंडिया फिल्म रिलीज का, ROGVT में भी I think.
नहीं. I mean, it's just, actually people don't, because social media and media is not it's only a recent phenomenon per se. There have been films like Kala Pani and all that have done it long back. You know, there are films like New Delhi, Mammootty says New Delhi, CBI Direct Group and all that have found acceptance in other states long back.
Kala Pani I remember.
So it's not like we are the first people to do it, but now there's social media, there's marketing, there are like media interactions like these and all for people to know about it, which has made things a lot easier for us. But the fact that this film actually has the tonality of a Hindi film in many places, when you see the film, you'll realize, I think, for the first 20-25 minutes, it'll seem like you're watching a Hindi film.
Oh,
yeah. So because of that, we wanted a proper Hindi release for the film. Yeah.
तो हम जैसे बात कर रहे हैं मोहनलाल जी की, और ये तीसरी फिल्म है आपकी उनके साथ, बीच में जो दूसरी फिल्म है ब्रो डैडी
जी,
तो वो ब्रो डैडी का कॉन्सेप्शन क्या आपकी और मोहनलाल की ट्यूनिंग इतनी अच्छी बन गई कि आपने वो कॉन्सेप्ट सोच लिया?
नहीं, वो भी मैंने नहीं लिखा है. It was written by Srijit and Rajesh, two writers. What happened was, it was during the pandemic. The entire industry was shut down, and there was no film shooting happening. Theaters were closed, and these two writers reached out to me and said, "We have this subject that we don't know what to do with it. Do you want to buy it from us?" So I told them to come over. मैंने script सुना, and I really loved the script. So I said, I also don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'll buy it from you. And I bought the script from them. Then, we were all just sitting around doing nothing, no shooting. So suddenly this वो जो new regulations था वो the government had released them that okay, you can start shooting, but only 50 people, maximum 50 people on location. Even on location, you need to have social distancing and all that. So we realized that at best we can do a very small contained film now, which is how Bro Daddy happened. I pitched the idea to Lal sir and he said, let's do it. And it was a very small
And
film.
there were talks that you, Rajnikant wanted to remake this film.
No, that's wrong. Rajni sir never wanted to remake Bro Daddy. When I was interacting with the Tamil media later on for something else, they asked me if I were to remake Bro Daddy in Tamil, who would I cast in it? And when I said Rajni sir, a lot of them were surprised because it is not like your typical Rajni sir film. And I told them because I honestly think Rajni sir...
So it was a hypothetical question and a hypothetical answer.
Yeah, because I think Rajni sir is a fantastic comic actor. Rajni sir का जो comedy का जो style है और जो उसका जो timing है, I think it's still not fully explored.
हिंदी audience ने बहुत देखा है वो comedy वाला उनका टच जो है अंधा कानून में या हम
Exactly, हाँ. So I thought he would be great. That's how the conversation happened. I haven't taken Bro Daddy to Rajni sir. Yeah.
और जो आपका डायरेक्शन के साथ साथ में जो आपका एक्टिंग का ग्राफ पिछले 5-6 साल से बढ़ना शुरू हुआ एकदम से। मैं देख रहा हूँ कि आपने सालार की, उसके पहले आपकी उसके बाद आप जीवितम आई, उसके पहले ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस की बहुत चर्चा बॉम्बे में होती है अक्सर कि यार इसका रीमेक हिंदी में बनना चाहिए। तो ये जो एक कह सकते हैं ना सेकेंड इनिंग्स काइंड ऑफ पृथ्वीराज सुकुमारन की जो मेच्योर पृथ्वीराज सुकुमारन है, एक टीनेजर थे या 20s में थे, लेट 30s के बाद में जो एज एन एक्टर आपने इवॉल्व किया है, जो आप चैलेंजिंग कैरेक्टर्स एक के बाद चूज कर रहे हो, ये पर्पसफुल है या बाई कोइंसिडेंस आपको कैरेक्टर से मिल रहे हैं?
नहीं, ये जो हो रहा है, आई थिंक इट्स नॉट जस्ट अबाउट मी एज एन एक्टर. Thankfully, fortunately, this phenomenon is of Malayalam cinema. What has happened is over the past few years, Malayalam cinema is going through a phase where fantastic content is being consistently created. I'm not claiming that Malayalam is the only industry making great films. All industries are making great films, but yeah, the younger crop of writers and filmmakers, they're beginning to think very differently. And the biggest beneficiaries of all that are the actors. I know we are the people getting all these wonderfully written characters and really, out of the way films and all that. Not just me, you look at any Malayalam actor's filmography, you will see a lot many interesting films over the past 5-6 years because content is being created. And I guess if anybody has to be thanked for the phenomenon, it is the audience. Because if you make a film that is not the usual template and slightly out of the ordinary and all that, only if that works in theaters will we have the opportunity and the drive to try again, So thanks to the
अच्छा ये
audience.
हुआ है कि जो जैसे मलयालम सिनेमा के जहाँ से बात शुरू की थी, जो लेजेंडरी फेसेस हैं मलयालम सिनेमा के, अभी कई सारे नए पे, जैसे कल हम देख रहे थे टोविनो थॉमस, तो मिर्नल मुरली आई कोरोना उसमें पैंडेमिक के टाइम में, लोग उनको पहचानते हैं। पृथ्वीराज सुकुमारन को अय्या और उसके बाद से देखते देखते यहाँ तक आए, इवन बड़े मियाँ छोटे मियाँ में जो आपने विलन प्ले किया, तो दैट वाज टेकन वेरी नाइसली कि हाँ यार पृथ्वीराज सुकुमार, हालांकि आप विलन शायद पहले भी प्ले कर चुके हैं तमिल में।
I've done villain roles in Malayalam also.
तो ये जो कैरेक्टर्स नए नए जो एक्टर्स निकल के आ रहे हैं और मलयालम सिनेमा का जो ग्रोथ हो रहा है, मतलब हिंदी फिल्म लोग देख रहे हैं कि भाई मलयालम सिनेमा देखो किस इंस्पिरेशन मिलेगा क्या, तो दैट ग्रोथ इज गेटिंग इंटरनेशनल ऑल्सो कि आपको बाहर भी बिजनेस बढ़ा है। अगर हम 100 CR फिल्म की देखें तो पिछले साल 3-4 फिल्मों ने कर दिया मलयालम फिल्मों ने, तो बॉक्स ऑफिस का फिगर ये कितना मैटर करता है किसी एक्टर के लिए और किसी डायरेक्टर के लिए?
That's the only thing that matters. अगर किसी ने आपको ये पता होगा कि it doesn't matter, they are lying. The fact is that's the only thing that matters. Why? Because why are you making cinema? You're making cinema for people to watch it. And अगर आपका जो फिल्म है it is done 100 crores or whatever, 150 crores or 200 crores, it means that a lot many people have seen your film. Correct. That is what you're doing this for. So box office numbers do matter because box office numbers mean that people are watching your film, and that is what you're doing cinema for. So for me as an actor and a director, more than anything else, box office numbers matter. Yeah.
और एक आखिरी क्वेश्चन ये कि given a chance, if you get a chance to direct a movie in Hindi,
I have actually gotten multiple chances, but I have not been able to.
अच्छा,
yeah.
तो करना चाहेंगे और कोई एक्टर अगर होगा कि आपको ये फिल्म डायरेक्ट करनी है तो आप किसके साथ करना चाहेंगे?
So I don't usually set out to direct actors. I set out to direct subjects. Yeah. And in fact, the one subject that I sort of there was a very big production house other than that after Lucifer, around 2021-22, there was a major production house and this really big star who was looking at what he can now do after a small gap. They had reached out and asked me if I have something to pitch. And there was an idea that I thought about, which I haven't developed because, again, I haven't got the time. But yeah, I mean, that is something that if ever I have the time and I'm able to develop it further, is something that I'd like to pitch to Shahrukh, sir.
That's really great. थैंक यू पृथ्वीराज, थैंक यू टॉकिंग टू अस.
Thank you so much.
बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आपको, बहुत बहुत बधाई इस फिल्म
Thank
के
you.
लिए. हम लोग जल्दी ही देखेंगे
Thank you
L2E
so
Empuraan.
much. Yeah.